Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. This week we are doing a free challenge, Manifesting 101. I'm doing it over in a private Facebook group and through email. So if you're interested in being part of this series, head on over to sashadavis.com/manifesting101 to join now. It's completely free. We're going to be talking about how to get clear on what you want, what is the law of attraction, how to manifest thoughts into reality, and what could potentially be stopping you from having the things that you desire in your life right now. So I'm going to break this down into 5 days. The trainings are less than 15 minutes. Everybody has the opportunity to earn points, and points are entries for prizes. So we're going to be giving away cash and gift cards and books and journals and all of these things that people just love in their personal development journey. So if you're interested in signing up for this free challenge, again, head on over to sashadavis.com/manifesting101. Otherwise, you can always hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. I also have the link in both of those bios. So today, as my gift to you and for the remainder of this week, you're going to get the replays of the trainings. But if you would like to be an active participant in this course, I really encourage you to head on over and sign up now. But without further ado, enjoy day 1 of Manifesting 101. Okay, I think we're live. We'll wait for a few people to hop on, and I'm really excited today. I was just going over my notes for everything, and I just get so freaking excited about this stuff. So today what we're going to talk about, day 2, Manifesting 101, is what we want and how we can start manifesting that into our life. And so I have a whole page of notes here. I'm super excited. Give me 1 second because I'm going to be getting off track. So as soon as you hop on, just pop down. If you're watching this live, if you're watching the replay, give me a wave, give me a thumbs up, give me all the things because I'm excited to see you guys. I was so happy to see how many of you have been participating in the homework. And I think this just gives people permission to keep putting themselves out there, right? So there's a method to my madness. Just know that there's a reason that I'm doing all of these things, and it's to create that momentum. So momentum creates more momentum, energy creates more energy. And I want you guys to all be lifted up and feeling good. Because when you feel good, you attract more goodness into your life. So that is the whole purpose of this. So anyways, day 2, here we go. Hey guys, hey Trissa, hey Monica. I'm so excited. And I'm so excited. Okay, so day 2, Manifesting 101. Gotta focus. Now that we know what we don't want, let's start to shift the focus to what we do want. Okay, but first, I'm going to put a swing on this. Okay, let's take a moment to appreciate all of the things in our life that we do not want. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but the appreciation for what we do want creates that contrast, right? And so without knowing what we don't want, we can't truly figure out what it is that we do want. Okay, so take a moment and don't worry. I'm going to set a reminder in here because this is also going to be part of your homework. I want you to shift your feeling of lack and not enough. I don't have this, blah, 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 to how can I appreciate where I'm at? This is my first step. What are we going to do moving forward? And we're going to dive deeper into that. Hey, Marissa. Hey, guys. So excited. Okay. I wish that you guys were all here in person. I love these live videos, but I really wish that I could just squeeze you guys. Okay. Anyways. Here we go. Sorry. Somebody just called me. Opposite end of the stick. Okay. So here we have what we don't want. Here's what we have, what we do want. Okay. So appreciate the contrast because we can't have one without the other, right? This is the part where you start to say okay, enjoy the journey. And I know a lot of people say that, but think about it. This is how I put it into perspective. So all of the things that you've manifested in your life, that is awesome. You guys are already manifesting things. I hope that you know that. The reason I did that was so that you guys could see that you have done this stuff before. You use this in your everyday life. It's nothing new. It's just bringing awareness to it. Okay. But, what was I going to say? If you bring awareness to the things that you've manifested, even though you already have them, you still want more. You're always going to want more. So that's where you start to appreciate the journey. You start to appreciate the contrast because no matter what, after you get that goal, you're still going to want more. It's human nature. That's how we're designed. It's fine, right? Just accept it. It's okay. Okay, so opposite end of the stick. What I want to go through is I wrote down the 3 most common examples off of your guys' list. So the ones that we're going to talk about are work, money, and partner. Okay, and so I'm going to put a swing on these things. And you may have to, I'll try to slow down. You guys might have to write these down. I can put them in the homework if you want. Just drop below, like add these questions to the homework if that's what you want. But these are going to be journal prompts. I prefer that you write them out, but at least just explore it and like think about what is possible. Like allow yourself the time and the space to just think about these questions. So the first one that I have is you don't like your work. You hate your job. You want a new job. Okay. First, let's take a moment and appreciate all of the things about your job that you do like, because let's be honest, if you really hated it that bad, you probably wouldn't be there. And I hate to say that, but I'm going to, because if it was like so terrible and it was just like ripping your heart out, like you would find something else. Like push comes to shove, you would find something else. So there are aspects about your job that you like. Let's focus on those for a minute. Let's shift the feeling of like, blah, I hate this, negative, da, 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 to like, okay, how can I appreciate this? What aspects do I like about my job? And how can I pull those aspects out and then put them into my new career? Okay. So a lot of times we appreciate the money. Sometimes we don't, but we need to appreciate at least some of the money that we're getting. Sometimes it's the flexibility. Sometimes it's the coworkers. Sometimes it's the freedom to do the thing. Sometimes it's the leadership role. Think about aspects of your job right now that you do enjoy and would still enjoy if it were in another career or another business platform. Okay, so that's the first thing. Start to explore what you actually do enjoy about your job. Maybe it's, there's tons of things that you can enjoy about your job. You don't have to enjoy everything. It doesn't have to be there forever, which is another thing that I think people get stuck on, is that you have to pick like one job for the rest of your life. And this starts when you're really young. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And then when you're only that thing for 5 years, it's like people lose their shit. You are human. You're allowed to change your mind. So just give yourself grace. Okay. But I want you to explore, for those of you who don't like your job, what does your dream job look like? What do you enjoy about your current job? What would you change about your current job? Write down the things that you don't like, and then what would you change? Okay, what is the opposite of that? You don't like your schedules? Great. What would be the perfect schedule? Maybe you're a 9 to 3 person. Maybe you're a 3 to 9 person. You're allowed to change your mind. Needed that. Yes, absolutely. You are allowed to change your mind. We are all allowed to change our mind. Just because I said that I like red today doesn't mean that I don't like blue tomorrow. Who cares? Who cares? You are allowed to change your mind as many times as you want. Okay. Even if you have a business, like there's so many people, hey, Carrie, I see you're popping on too. There's so many people who start businesses and they're like, oh God, like I'm locked into this business and I'm married to this business. No, you're not. No, you're not. You could decide tomorrow that you don't want to do it and you want to do something else. It's totally fine. It's what makes you happy. And that's what this is all about. Manifesting is all about creating happiness in your life so that you can enjoy life right now and not wait to like a destination to enjoy life. So let's get back to it. What do you appreciate about your current job? What did you dream about doing when you were younger? Okay. This is a fun one because a lot of times we would say like, well, I want to be a rock star, or I want to be a singer, or I want to be like, allow yourself to be a little kid again for a minute. Hey guys, allow yourself to just be a dreamer. Allow yourself to use your imagination. Like you have this brilliant tool right here. Use it. You're not locked into what society says that you have to do. You're not locked into anything. Even though it feels like you're locked in, you're not. Okay. Another one, if you had all of the time in the world and money wasn't an issue, what would you spend your time doing? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a job. That's the other thing. Okay. But I want you to start thinking about that. What would you do with your time? A lot of people are like, oh, I just sit around and do nothing. That's a lie. No, you wouldn't. Even sitting around is doing something. Reading books is doing something. Watching TV is doing something. Hiking is doing something. Working on things is doing something. And I'm telling you, there's only a certain amount of nothing that you can do before you feel that inspired action and you're going to go do something else. So if you had all the money and all the time in the world, what would you spend your time doing? What would you spend your time doing? And for those of you who are going to say, I would spend my time with family, because I know there's going to be those that will. What are you guys going to do? You're not just going to sit around like singing Kumbaya and staring at each other. You're probably going to be doing something. So what would you spend your time doing. Okay. Set the intention that your next job, your next career, your next business idea is out there, and just put the intention out there that you're open and willing to receive new ideas, new downloads, new input for what your next step is. Sometimes let go of the how. Sometimes we don't have all of the answers, and that's okay. You just have to set the intention that like, hey, I want more. And sometimes you just got to wait for it to slap you in the face, and it will. You just have to keep taking inspired action. So next would be let go of the guilt, let go of the overwhelm. Delegate more if you can. I know this is a really big thing for women and for moms. We feel like we have to like do all the things and be all the things. You don't. That's martyr syndrome. I have it. A lot of people have it. We feel like we have to do all the things because if we don't do it our way, it's not going to get right. It won't get done right. And that's just a story that you tell yourself. Like you can ask for help. Like I have this conversation with my husband too. I'm like, I'm going to hire somebody. I always go back and forth on like hiring somebody to clean my house because I fucking hate cleaning my house. And if you could see behind me, there's like a mountain of laundry. I hate all things to do with it. And so why would I spend my time doing things that I don't enjoy? I could spend time in my zone of genius and have somebody that really enjoys cleaning. And it's insane to me that there's people out there that enjoy cleaning, but there are, okay? Let them operate in their zone of genius. Delegate more. Let go of all of the guilt, okay? Two last things that I want to say to you about this job, career, what you're doing throughout your day kind of thing. What could you do right now? Sorry, I'm looking back and forth between Facebook and Zoom. What could you do right now to make your job more fun? Maybe you dress fun. Maybe you look at funny cat videos throughout the day. Maybe you have like a joke that you say in a family meeting. I've gotten better at letting my husband do household stuff. Yes, men are capable and they actually enjoy doing some of the things. Like they know that they're independent, capable individuals. Like they want to know that they can help. So it's totally fine. Like delegate, right? Ask them what they enjoy doing. Funny story. There's a lot of men that actually enjoy cooking. Like I fucking hate grilling. My husband loves it. He loves it. I'm like, great. Grill every day of the week. Grill every meal. Okay. But what can you do during your day to have more fun? What can you do? Maybe you like wear a fun hat. Maybe you wear a fun t-shirt. Like I'm having more fun. Look at my shirt. Don't be an ass. Like it's just fun, right? We're just nothing serious that happened. Just have some more fun. And lastly, I want you to ask yourself, when you think of like your work and your job and you're like, ugh, I feel blah, who would you be without that thought? How would you feel without that thought? And a lot of times the answer is free. Free. I feel free. I feel peace. You get to choose that now. Let go of the things that do not serve you. Practice, 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 practice. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. It's just like mental push-ups. I say this, if you've worked with me before, you know I've said this. It can be tough in the beginning, but I promise you, practice makes progress. And so really focus on like letting go of the things that do not feel good and focus more on the things that do feel good, especially in the area of your work, because you spend a lot of time in this area. So try to make it more fun, try to make it more lighthearted, delegate more, write a list about the things that you actually do enjoy, and start asking yourself what your dream job would look like. If I gave you $1 million and said you have all the time and all the money in the world, what would you do? Just start thinking about it, okay? Put the intention out there. Now, money, this is always a hot topic. And if you guys have more questions about this stuff, you can always DM me, put them below. I'll hop back on later and ask questions. I've even thought about doing like a Zoom this next weekend and doing some hot seat coaching on this so that we can like role play with each other. Because I know that I'm like reading off a screen and it's very different. Like when I'm working with somebody and they like feel the transition, it's all about how you feel. I want you to feel better because when you feel better, you feel better. The better it gets, the better it gets. And so that's the momentum that we want to create in our life. Okay, money. A lot of you guys said I don't have enough. I overspend. I don't budget. I have trouble saving. What are your dominant thoughts about money? Let me just first ask you that. What are your dominant thoughts about money? 99% of you are going to have lack, debt, not saving, overspending. I don't know where my money goes. I want more money. Want is another word that we're going to replace, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow, about the language and affirmations and how you can start to really take these concrete steps. Okay. So these are some questions that I want to ask you guys to start exploring the idea of You have enough money. You just have to find it. You have to go after it. You have to set that intention. You have to raise your vibration from blah, lack, not enough down here to like, hey, it's everywhere. I see it all around me. I'm calling it in. So raise that vibration up. Okay. So first question, how much time do you actually spend on educating yourself about money, about debt, about creating more money? How much time do you spend on money? A lot of you will be like, none. I've never looked at my budget. I look at my budget once a week. I've never read a book about money. I haven't read anything about money since I was in high school in an accounting in 20 freaking years ago. Okay. What you focus on, you get more of. So if you focus on ways to create more money, read books about money, read books about money management, you are going to naturally call in more money and more tools and more skills. So what you focus on, you get more of, right? Another question, do you budget? If you don't budget, I highly suggest that you start a budget. I cannot express this enough. What you focus on, you get more of. So for those of you who are like, I overspend, I don't know where my money goes, I don't have enough money. First step is create a budget. You have to bring awareness to what you've done, where your stuff goes, so that you can adjust it and fix it going forward. Okay. We don't know where we're going if we don't figure out where we've been. I'm sure you've heard like that saying too. Okay. Another one, if I gifted you $10,000, how would you spend it? What would you do with it? A lot of you are going to say, I would pay off debt, which I know that sounds like, oh yeah, I should pay off debt. A lot of you are going to use the whole 10,000 and pay off debt. So your dominant thought is still debt. Okay. A lot of you are going to say that hey, Rachel, a lot of you are going to say like, oh, I would go on a spending spree, or, oh, I would go on a vacation. Your dominant thoughts are spending, which are lack. So how can you start to create that abundance mindset, that investment mindset, that I want more money mindset? What I would do is tell myself, hey, I'm going to put this much in savings. I'm going to put this much in investment. And I'm also going to put this much money on debt. And I'm also going to put this much money into spending on myself. I would delegate it up, or divvy it up. Divvy it up's the word I'm looking for. I wouldn't just throw it all in debt. I wouldn't just all throw it in spending, because dominant thought would be debt. Dominant thought would be spending, right? And those are two things that aren't helping you right now. So dominant thoughts, think about, how can my money work for me? How can I make more money? How can I start saving? How can I put this in an account that will index and interest itself so that my money makes money for me? Okay. So those are your dominant thoughts. Okay. Think about what you would do with $10,000 right now. What would you do with those $10,000? And really truly sit with that. And if you really feel like, ugh, I got to pay off all this debt, great. But I want you to really start thinking about dominant thoughts of investing and saving. Okay. Because then, and building that wealth, you have to have a dominant thought of abundance and wealth. And if you have that lack, spending, debt, you're going to keep in that pattern. You're going to keep in that pattern. Okay. So you have to change it. And I know it's uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. It's learning something new, mental push-ups. Okay. Also, when it comes to debt, the other thing that I like to say is IBARs, invoices for blessings already received. You're paying for something that you've already been able to use. So can you just, give a little thanks, show a little appreciation towards it? Kate Northrop, Money, a Love Story. Read it. You'll love it. But do you have a plan to pay down your debt? How can you appreciate the debt that you have now? You guys wouldn't have your house or your car or your clothes, your school, your student loans. You wouldn't have any of those things if it wasn't for debt. And I mean, some of you were probably able to pay that out of cash. Great. But so many people put like debt on this pedestal, when really debt's allowed you to do all kinds of amazing things. Now that you know better and know that like maybe debt doesn't feel that good, how can we appreciate what we've learned and where we're at, and how can we move forward? Okay. So the other thing, do you appreciate your bills? I know so many of you guys, and maybe not everybody falls into this category, but when you get a bill in the mail, you're like, oh, fuck, another bill, like the bills never stop. Dominant thought is lack. Dominant thought is lack. Switch it. When you get a bill in the mail, how can you say, thank you? I actually have the money to pay this. I am so happy that I actually have bills, because it shows that I have the money to be able to pay this. How can you start saying thank you more often for the money that you do receive? How many times do you feel amazing when that money comes into your account? And when you can start to appreciate and love the money that you do have, you're going to be able to make more of it. Think of money as pizza. If you hated pizza, do you think that you would have a lot of pizza in your life? Probably not. Okay. So you need to shift your relationship from I hate money, I don't like money, to I love money. And money is a tool, and money can help me get the things that I want and help me be the person that I want to be. Money will help me become the person I am meant to be. It is just a tool. It is not this power source, guys. It is just a tool. It is just energy exchanges. So start edging yourself on money. There's tons of money books. There's Dave Ramsey. There's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There's Kate Northrup. There's Rachel Cruz. There's Abraham Hicks. There's Happy Pocket Full of Money. I have books out the wazoo that can help you with your money mindset, but you have to take the time and set your focus on wealth, on building abundance, because you are not going to get anywhere in that lack mindset. And all of those things, shift them from how can I appreciate to where I am to what can I have more of. Okay. Next, partner. A lot of you guys were talking about like, I don't like sex with my partner. We don't have sex. We have lack of communication. We don't agree on things. So again, what you focus on, you get more of. Take a time audit of your week, of your month, of your year. How much time are you actually spending with your spouse? How much time do you actually listen to your spouse? How many times do you put the phone down and have like a deep heart to heart with your spouse? A lot of times people are just like I'm guilty of it. Me and my husband will lay in bed and we'll just be like sitting there like playing on our phones, like not really communicating. So you have to actually like take the time to put the effort into your relationship. Okay. And then there's a time where you just have to sit back and be like, is this working? And you'll know in your heart, and you will be pulled in a different direction. Okay. And that's okay too. You don't have to be with the same person for the rest of your life. Like you don't have to. And I know that that sounds crazy and a lot of people will probably like shame me for it, but whatever. Like my parents were not meant to be together. And I can't imagine, they probably would both have killed each other if they were still together. And I can tell you there's so many different couples out there who get married for the wrong reasons because they think they should. And they're not technically meant to be together. Look at your chemistry. Like attracts like. I don't care what people say. They say opposites attract. Yeah, great. Maybe in the beginning, but if you guys don't have similar values or core values, if you don't have similar dreams and goals and hopes, you're not going to get very far. You're going to create that friction, and eventually that friction will turn into a fire, and it will encompass everything, right? You want to have like a smooth, like think about like a well-oiled machine, like it just runs smoothly, right? There's no friction there. Things don't break down. So think of your partner as that. Like, how are you guys working together? Okay. Do you schedule date nights with your spouse? These are some questions that I have. Do you guys enjoy sex? If not, why not? Are you communicating what you like, what you don't like, right? Some people are morning sex people. Some people are evening sex people. Some people are on top. Some people are on bottom. I don't know. Some people like spontaneous sex. Some people don't. Like, do you guys have these conversations? These are things that you need to have. You can't just expect somebody to read your mind. So what you focus on, you get more of. Set the intention that, like, if you want to have good sex, how are you going to make that happen? Have that conversation, right? Talk about big dreams with your spouse. Do you support their big dreams? Do they support yours? How can you guys be more supportive of one another? Do you feel like you need permission to do things? This is a huge thing. Sometimes we feel like our spouse has control over us. So start having that conversation on like, hey, how do you feel and how do you want to feel? Okay. And my son's waking up, so you might hear my husband go by and go get him. So nap time's over. And another thing is, you can't make somebody else happy. I don't care how hard you try. You can't make somebody else happy. You have to make yourself happy first and then bring that happiness into a relationship, because otherwise things will be off balance. And again, this is a practice, right? Sometimes we want to give, and then we forget to give to ourselves. But I'm telling you, you can't pour from an empty cup. Think of you as your cell phone, right? You would never walk around with a cell phone on 10% battery. You would be like, nothing's working, everything's shutting down. And then we wonder why we do it, right? So how can you fill your day with more things that make you happy? And this can be simply from like having your favorite coffee, doing your hair, doing your makeup, going for a walk, having 5 minutes to yourself, maybe having a coffee date. I don't know what it is, you guys. Like, it is your responsibility to focus on your happiness. It is not your spouse's responsibility to make you happy, and vice versa. Okay. But if you can work on what makes you happy, and he can also work on what makes him happy, or she, or whatever your relationship status is, together, you guys can have all of the happiness. So I hope that you understand that. And again, like it's really, really, really hard to communicate with people when they're also in like a lax state, right? Like, have you ever tried to like talk to somebody and they're just like blah, like they just don't get it. They're not absorbing it. It's bouncing right off of them. So they need to go fix their happiness, get in a state of like allowance, acceptance, and happiness. And then you guys can have that conversation. That's where you guys will start to communicate and be happy together. Because I'm telling you guys, it's no fun to love somebody or communicate with somebody or have sex with somebody who is unhappy. And that's probably a big part of why sometimes sex isn't fun, because it ends up feeling like a chore because you're not really happy. Okay. So again, focus on your happiness. And again, with the appreciation stuff, write a list of positive aspects about your relationship. What can you appreciate about that person? What do they do that maybe nobody else does? You know, like my husband's really handy. He's really great with the kids. He's an amazing dad. He's a great cook, right? Some things I don't like about him. He's a fucking perfectionist, but I try not to spend too much time like thinking about that, because that too can be a positive, right? Like while I wing it and throw things together and duct tape and super glue are a staple of my life, he would never do that. And so I can love and appreciate that, even though that I'm not a perfectionist. Okay. So when I can love and appreciate him more, he can love and appreciate me more back. And so the last thing that I want to say about partners is, again, educating yourself on communicating with your partner, right? What you focus on, you get more of. So one book that I am going to highly recommend, and there's actually a quiz on it too, make your partner take it with you, okay? What is your love language and what is theirs? This is crucial, because sometimes we'll be trying to communicate our love language to our spouse, and it's like speaking a foreign language. It would be like me talking English to a Chinese person who has no idea what English is, or vice versa. Like if somebody came up to me and was speaking Mandarin, I'd be like, what? I don't get it. I would not accept it. I just look at them like confused, and they'd be like, I'm telling you, I love you. And I'm like, I don't get it. So their love language is very different than your love language. And I will tell you from experience that a lot of men, and this isn't like, that sounds bad. So a lot of women have told me that their husbands, love language is dominantly physical touch, right? So they really like physical touch. So like hand holding and massaging and things like that, just like hugs and like telling them that you'll be there for them. Some of the other love languages are quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, the other one is I think there's 5 of them. So figure out what your guys' love languages are, and then figure out how you can communicate your love to them, right? So if you're somebody who loves gifts, your husband doesn't, if he's a physical touch person, he's going to think it's really fucking weird that you keep giving him gifts. He's going to be like, what? And you're gonna be like, I love you. And he's like, but I don't want this stuff. And then you feel like he doesn't love you and appreciate you. It's because your love language is gifts, not his. So educate yourself. What you focus on, you get more of. Shift it from this isn't working to what would work. Put your how can I hat on and just start to think about what is possible. Okay. The last few things that I'm going to say before I wrap this up, and I know this one is getting long. I am so passionate about shifting everybody from that, like, I want, I don't have, lack, to like abundance and feeling good and happiness. Because when we are in a state of abundance and happiness, you can call more abundance and happiness into it. It's like having a fully charged battery all the time. You're just walking around like zing, and you're like a magnet. You're just like attracting all the goodness to you. So let's raise that vibration and start calling in the things that we do want. Last thing is, everybody is like, I want this now. I want this now. And I want to say to you, I know that you do, but when you say, I want, and it's not happening, you're actually reinforcing lack. So if you say, I desire for this to happen, I wish for this to happen, you're intending for it to happen, right? You're not focusing on the lack of, you're focusing on like, okay, this is going to happen sometime in my life, and I'm just going to accept that, and I'm going to have patience, and I'm going to have grace with myself, because we are meant to enjoy the journey, and we're meant to enjoy the contrast. And so the one saying that I want to say to you is, you would not consume all of your meals in an entire lifetime in one sitting. It would kill you. It would physically kill you. You would no longer be. If I made you eat 80 years worth of meals in one sitting, you would not be able to hang. Okay. So enjoy the contrast, enjoy the journey, see where you're at, be present, enjoy the meal that you're being served now, and be like, this is an amazing meal. I can't wait to see what's next. I can't wait to see what next. I'm excited for what's next. Okay. So don't get wrapped up in the what is. Focus on what's next. Okay. What do you desire? What do you wish? What could it be? Because when you focus on what is and what is not working, you're actually living in the past, and that's not helping you because you can't change anything that's in the past, okay? Don't look at your history in order to predict your future. Look ahead. You are in control of what you do tomorrow, next week, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, okay? Focus on what you want life to look like. How do you desire your life to look like? What do you wish to happen in your life? I can't wait for this to happen. That's what I can think. So get excited about what you want to happen. Don't get caught in the lack of. Start saying like, I can't wait for this to happen. Like, I'm so excited for this to happening. It's coming to me right now. It's coming to me right now. Each day I'm one step closer to what I want now. Okay. Don't put like some weird like expectation on it. Cause sometimes when we say like, I'm going to have this in 5 years, I'm going to have this in 10 years, leave it open-ended, because honestly, who says that tomorrow you guys can't win a lottery? Who says tomorrow that you guys don't win something that you really want? Who says tomorrow that you don't meet the love of your life? Who says tomorrow that the perfect house doesn't fall into your lap? Like, who says that there's not somebody that's going to call you tomorrow and be like, I have the perfect job for you? So expect it to happen now, and just every day be like, I'm one step closer. I'm one step closer. I'm taking one step closer, and it's coming. It's coming. I'm patient. I'm excited. Okay. And to ease your mind, this concept of time is so interesting. And so if you read the book, there's a couple of them out there. One is A Happy Pocket Full of Money. But if I could tell you, just for example, like, let's say Rachel, she goes, I can't wait for this to happen. If I say, hey, I know with certainty that you will have everything your heart desires in 5 years, you would feel a sense of ease. You'd be like, okay, cool. Like, I got 5 years to go. I'm going to make the best of what I have right now. And then I'm going to reap the benefit in 5 years. If you can know without certainty, without any doubt in your mind, it will happen quicker, okay? And you have to let go of that resistance. Again, resistance creates friction, which actually pushes us farther away from our goals. So the goal here today is to have more fun, feel good more of the time, choose better feeling thoughts. If something doesn't feel good, ask yourself what would feel good in this moment, and then do that thing or something as close to it as possible. If you want to live on an island, maybe what you do is you start visiting islands. Maybe you start Googling islands. Maybe you start Pinteresting islands. What would your perfect island look like? What would you do on an island? What kind of food would be on that island? Who would be on your island? Da 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 da. Okay. Start really like dreaming what that would look like. What would it look like? The possibilities are endless. If you can dream it, it can happen. Okay. So your homework for today, write down what you appreciate on your do not want list. Write down what you appreciate on your do not want list. I want you to come up with a list of positive aspects, do a gratitude journal, do an appreciation journal. Feel the difference. Feel the difference. The goal is to stop feeling lack and start feeling abundance, and enjoy the things that we do have and be appreciative for the things that are yet to come. Okay. Write down what you do want and how you want to feel. So like, if I could wave a magic wand, what would you want? How would that feel? If I gifted you $1 million, what would you do with it? If time wasn't an issue, money wasn't an issue, what do you want in your life? Okay. Third, give yourself grace. You are doing the best you can with what you have. As long as you are showing up as your best and doing what you can, that is all anybody ever asks. And focus on your happiness. Okay. Do more things that make you happy. And that's the last thing. What would make you happy right now in this red hot minute? What would make you happy? Maybe it's like forcing yourself to smile. Maybe like, I watch TikTok videos because I just fucking get a kick out of them. And I think that they're so funny, and it can like turn my mood around like that. So what makes you happy? What makes you happy? Maybe it's funny shirts. I don't know. Maybe it's necklaces. Maybe it's hugging your spouse or kissing your kids. Whatever it is, do more of it. Okay. I have some examples. Go for a walk, read a book, do your hair, sing, dance. Do anything that makes you happy, okay? It's going to raise your vibration. When you can raise your vibration, you are like a magnet to attract more goodness into your life. I get so passionate about this stuff. So if you're interested in like a hot seat coaching, maybe what I'll do is like a group call and people can like hop on or whatever. So if you're interested in that, put that down below. Also, like, write your biggest aha moment. Like, tell me what like stuck out to you. I want to hear it. I want to see it. And I cannot wait for you guys to post your homework in the group. You can keep your list short. Maybe just share like 3 things out of each thing. So writing down what you appreciate on your do not want list, writing down what you do want and how you want to feel, giving yourself grace, and what would you do to be happy right now. That's all I got for you guys. See you tomorrow. Thanks for listening to the Sasha Davis podcast. For more information on personal and professional development, we've created a master list of all of the resources discussed in the podcast and the blog. So head on over to sashadavis.com/resources for our full list.